Hey everybody, welcome to Jacqui's Closet, where you get a behind-the-scenes glimpse at my most recent music video, in which this week, week 13, the lucky, beautiful 13, was Goodness of God. First of all, I want to know, what do you want to hear me cover? It could be anything. It could be theme songs of a show, it could be songs from the radio, it could be Disney stuff, which, by the way, next week will be my first ever Disney cover, and I am so beyond myself with how it's coming so far. Am I allowed to say that? Because I did. I just want to know, what do you want to see from me? What do you want to know from me? I will address every comment, every question that you ask in these comments below. Also, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Boop the subscribe. It helps me, and you can see all of my awesome covers and music videos to come, all packed, 30 background vocals at minimum, and so many harmonies, you wouldn't even know that was possible with all of these songs. So this week's song was Goodness of God. You can see my full-length video here on this channel, or go to my website, JingleJacqui.com, where you can see this video and my full cover music video of Goodness of God. As you know, I am pretty bold about the fact that I am no professional. I'm a mom who's at home, who's been a worship leader her whole life and wanted to be a mom her whole life, and now I've combined the two things with what I'm doing. I'm just somebody who tries to get better each time. So oftentimes you'll see some mistakes in my music videos, and I just leave them there. I am a mom at home trying to make a living, making this a job. I put in over 40 hours a week at this, and sometimes enough is enough and you just did your best. I have a part in this song where I had recorded the whole main vocal track, put in all my harmonies, and then I really wanted to do the lead vocals again. So there's one part where I did an O on my second take, but I did a yeah on the first take. And I was like, you know what? Just leave it. I'm not recording this again.
Oh, the goodness of God. Oh, your goodness is...
Like I said, I re-recorded that whole main track, and there were some differences. It made it a little bit not as synchronized in my music video, since I had already filmed the video prior to re-recording the main vocals. I would not recommend you do that if you are a fellow musician specifically. Make sure you have the lead part done before you record the footage, and it makes for lots of fun, you know, on the editing process. Another one, oh my goodness, you guys, I can't with my midriff. Like, I live in Florida, and I love Jesus, and I really don't want to stumble people, and I know there's a fine line between my responsibility as a woman to not dress like a harlot, and man's responsibility to not treat us all like harlots and see us all like harlots because my armpit has been revealed. I know there's a balance in the middle. I had never really understood the lure or the catch to wearing as minimal clothes as possible, but it's kind of a thing here in Florida where it's a butt degree every single day of your life. I do wear crop tops sometimes in the comfort of my home, or working out, or I'll throw something over it and go to the grocery store. It's not like I'm out there belly dancing, but sometimes the shirt's a little, just because of the way it fits with my high-waisted pants, I got a lot of coverage going on. Long story short, I did not realize the amount of midriff that was in the 2 video takes of the main vocals. In the past, I've kept it. I was like, whatever, I'll just apologize for it afterwards. But first of all, this is a worship song that's directly to God's heart, so I did not feel right about the amount that was there. Secondly, it was significantly more than I typically would allow to slip by. So, you know, there's that. That was lots of fun. I had such a bad attitude when I caught. You could ask my husband, who's always going to be by nature mentioned in these videos. He's just, throughout my life, he's wonderful. You can ask him. I went out to the kitchen so angry with such a bad attitude that I had to film the lead vocals to this song again. When I'm done, I'm done. Came back in, had to reset everything, turn the lights back on, get the camera set up just at the right angle again, and I filmed it, and I was able to worship. I don't know. God is just really good like that because he's good. So there are my little kerfloofs. Now let's move into the practical application. Guys, I think everyone who's heard this song has just been wrecked. Whether you have faith or not in God, or believe he exists, or aren't sure if he exists, there's just something about this song that is extremely realistic, extremely relatable. This is what I think of when I'm going through this song. I've been through a lot, and some of you who have followed me, if I were to just list out in a little timeline right here all of the things that I've been through, good and bad, Lots of lows, but the goodness of God has been consistent in all of these things. It's because it's who he is. It's not necessarily like he's good because I did this, or he's good because he allowed this to happen to me and I got this great gift. It's like he is just so good, and his goodness is running after me. And here are some tangible things that I can always, every day, thank God for his goodness over my life. First of all, he has not lied or failed in any of the things that he has written in his word that I've asked for. And I say that very hesitantly because I want to make sure you understand the context of that statement. I read his word, I hold it to him, and ask him to help me apply it to my life. And it's just made me a better person from the inside out by just following him and being on my knees before him and being open and vulnerable and honest. Secondly, my daughters. I've been praying for my future family and my children since I was 11. I picked out my oldest daughter's name when I was 11 years old, Jael. In Hebrew, it's Yael, and it means strength of God. I have been praying over her. It was for 15 years before she was born, and future children too. So Anaya is my second born, and that is Hebrew, and it's actually the name of a male priest from the book of Nehemiah. Anaya means God has answered. So these names were very important to me when I was a kid for whatever reason, because I am weird like that, but I was able to see my family as a child and want them so much, so badly. I see these beautiful kids. That is one thing I can always thank God for. I have been through a miscarriage before. I've lost twins. I knew how awful that could be by hearing about it, but going through it is so different. Actually experiencing the loss of that yourself is probably one of the most tragic things you could ever feel, and it's just as painful. Every time you think of it, my babies are precious to me, the ones in heaven, the ones here on earth. At the end of the day, I have my beautiful daughters in this home, and I am so thankful. Another thing is my husband. I am so grateful. That whole story, we have a wonderful blog you should check out, thealsbrookfamily.com. You'll eventually hear our story in its entirety through blog posts and a podcast that we are launching together, and just listening to these Jacqui's Closets, you will hear more of our story of how God brought us together in such a time. And it was a rarity. I got a diamond in the rough. I don't know how someone like him existed who is perfectly compatible for me and my specific family situation, which is extremely complex. And God is just good. My home, this home that I'm in, how God orchestrated all of that. If all else fails, at the end of the day, I have a God who's perfect, who doesn't lie, whose word is true, who's for me, loves me perfectly, disciplines me perfectly, leads me perfectly every single day. I have that at the end of the night. His goodness is running after me. It doesn't mean that I don't get discouraged. You guys, I'm discouraged all the time. And like I said, ask my husband. He sees the reality of there is joy simultaneously with all of the hurt and all of the pain, then the sucky suck. But his goodness is running after me. And you guys, his goodness is running after you. It's running after you. And if you don't see it, I challenge you, just ask God right now, Lord, where is your goodness in my life? Please show it to me. If it's running after me and I don't feel it, God, please help me experience this and see it for myself, because I know you're good. Just be open and honest with him. You guys, I love you so much. Every single Thursday, I go live as a JingleJacqui live show to connect with all of you live. Drop comments about what you want to hear. Drop comments about the goodness of God in your life. I want to know what he's done for you, and let's edify each other in this feed and keep this community growing and going. I will be back next Thursday live at 8 p.m. and JingleJacqui.com is my website. View all of my work. Sign up as a patron for as low as $1 a month, guys, and fund this channel. It would mean the world to me. Guys, have a beautiful week. God bless you. I love you, and I mean it.